Have you ever seen an interview where the host crosses a line so badly even the guests can't hide their discomfort? Ellen DeGeneres, known for her friendly persona, and I mean that very lightly, has had her fair share of awkward celebrity moments. What was supposed to be lighthearted banter turned into uncomfortable confrontations, some of which have even led stars to call her out. Today we're diving deep into Ellen's most disrespectful moments on her show, and trust me, some of these will shock you. Let's start with one of Ellen's most notorious moments, Mariah Carey's champagne incident in 2008. Ellen, known for her prankster attitude, had a plan. The buzz around town, Mariah Carey was rumored to be pregnant.
People are saying that that you're pregnant.
Instead of letting the star reveal it on her own terms, Ellen took things into her own hands by offering Mariah champagne during the interview. The awkwardness in the room was palpable as Ellen persistently pushed Mariah to reveal her secret. "You're pregnant, aren't you?" Ellen teased. "Let's just toast with champagne and decide."
Let's just toast with champagne and decide if... They've been saying that?
But Mariah wasn't biting. She tried to dodge the question, laughing nervously as Ellen pressed on. As the tension built, Mariah finally snapped, saying, "You're peer pressuring me, Ellen."
You see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure.
But Ellen wouldn't let up. It was clear that she wasn't going to let this go until she got a scoop. Mariah, visibly uncomfortable, didn't give in though. To make matters worse, months after this uncomfortable episode aired, Mariah tragically suffered a miscarriage. Ellen's relentless pushing became even more unsettling in hindsight. Years later, Mariah admitted that she was deeply uncomfortable during the interview, and it showed. This wasn't just a lighthearted moment. It was a perfect example of how Ellen's style of humor left her guests squirming in their seats. But Mariah wasn't the only one to have her boundaries crossed. Celine Dion, the global superstar, found herself in an awkward confrontation during her time on Ellen's show. It all started with a comment about her son's long hair. Ellen, seemingly unamused by the boy's flowing locks, asked, "When are you going to cut that hair?" Celine didn't hesitate to stand her ground. "I have to say, it's amazing that people criticize you no matter what you do," she shot back. She pointed out the double standard of people either criticizing parents for cutting their kids' hair or, like in her case, criticizing her for letting her son's hair grow. As the interview continued, Celine firmly declared, "When he's ready, I'll cut it." It was a lesson in respecting children's autonomy, but Ellen wasn't thrilled with being called out. She fumbled for a response, realizing that she had crossed the line once again. Now things were about to get even cringier. In 2015, Ellen decided to target Justin Bieber with one of her infamous pranks. What was supposed to be a lighthearted interview took a wild turn when Ellen ambushed Justin with a giant blurred-out photo of him in a compromising position during a vacation in Bora Bora. The look on Justin's face said it all. The poor guy was caught off guard, unsure of how to handle the sudden onslaught of embarrassing questions. "There's a woman in the background. Is that your girlfriend?" Ellen asked, pushing for answers. As the room fell into awkward silence, Justin tried to laugh it off. "No, just a friend," he explained, visibly uncomfortable. But Ellen wasn't done. "You're naked with your friend in Bora Bora?" She prodded further, her questions only making things worse. Justin's discomfort became more obvious as he finally covered his face with his hands, whispering, "Stop, you're making me blush." Ellen, undeterred, continued to press. "So you're naked with your friend? Is that really all?" she asked, turning up the heat. The tension was unbearable as Justin just wanted the moment to end. Justin Bieber wasn't the only one to feel Ellen's sharp questions. Taylor Swift, who's known for her private life and public relationships, was a frequent target. In 2012, Ellen made waves when she repeatedly asked Taylor about her relationship status, zeroing in on past boyfriends like Zac Efron. But that wasn't all. Ellen made it clear that she wasn't done digging into Taylor's love life. She put up giant photos of Taylor's exes on the screen and then handed her a bell, telling her to ring it whenever one of those exes inspired the breakup anthem, "We are never ever getting back together." The whole interview became one big awkward spectacle. Taylor tried to laugh it off, but you could see the discomfort building. The tension was palpable, and at one point Taylor snapped. "Every time I come here, you put another guy on the screen and make me feel bad about myself," she said, visibly frustrated. Ellen tried to backtrack, but the damage was done. Taylor had called her out, and for the first time, Ellen's usually friendly demeanor seemed to crack under the pressure. Things took a sharp turn when Dakota Johnson, star of 50 Shades of Grey, appeared on Ellen's show. Ellen had invited Dakota back after making a joke about not being invited to Dakota's birthday party. But things got awkward fast when Dakota, without missing a beat, called out Ellen for her lie. "I wasn't invited," Dakota said bluntly. Ellen, stunned, tried to defend herself by saying she was invited last year, but Dakota wasn't letting her off that easy. "No, you weren't. And now you're just trying to cover it up, Dakota fired back, exposing Ellen's story as a fabrication. The tension in the room skyrocketed. Ellen scrambled for a response, but Dakota didn't back down. "Ask Jonathan, your producer," she said, calling on Ellen's staff to back her up. Ellen had no choice but to admit that she had been caught in a lie. It was a rare moment where the talk show host was called out on national TV and the audience was left in stunned silence. If you thought Dakota Johnson's confrontation was bold, wait until you hear what happened with comedian Hassan Minhaj. During his 2019 appearance, Ellen mispronounced his name in the middle of the interview, calling him Hussein instead of the correct pronunciation, Hassan Minhaj. Hassan didn't hesitate to correct her, making it clear that his name wasn't up for misinterpretation. "The real way you pronounce it is Hassan Minhaj," he explained as Ellen awkwardly tried to recover. But Hassan wasn't done. He pointed out the double standard in name pronunciation, calling out how people often butcher names like his, while they would never mispronounce more familiar names. This public correction was a moment of empowerment for Hassan, and it left Ellen flustered. It was a rare example of a guest asserting themselves on Ellen's show, and it made waves. Wendy Williams is no stranger to controversy, and when she appeared on Ellen's show, it was clear that Ellen was about to be put on the hot seat. Ellen asked Wendy why she had thrown shade at Kanye West and Kim Kardashian when they were expecting their first child in 2013. Wendy didn't hold back, offering her honest take on the situation. However, things took a twist when Wendy shifted gears and complimented Ellen's veganism. But then came a cheeky comment. "You're totally vegan, but how do you live without bacon?" Ellen, unamused, responded with a terse, "Because pigs are smart animals." The tension between the two was palpable, and Wendy wasn't done yet. Later, she even joked that Ellen and Justin Bieber looked alike, only to have Ellen awkwardly attempt to downplay it. The humor didn't land, and the uncomfortable silence lingered. When Ellen pushed too far with her teasing during a game of 5-second rule, Cher didn't let her get away with it. Ellen made a comment about how Cher had once said chocolate turned her on, to which Cher responded with a sharp retort, "I have chocolate, I'm lying," she snapped, shutting down the awkward conversation. It was a masterclass in how to handle Ellen's playful teasing. Cher wasn't having it. Her sharp response turned the interview on its head, showing that not every celebrity is going to play along with Ellen's antics. These awkward moments weren't just slip-ups. They were a turning point in how celebrities started handling Ellen's interviews. As more stars pushed back against her prying questions, the image of Ellen as the friendly, warm talk show host began to crack. Celebrities like Dakota Johnson, Hassan Minhaj, and even Taylor Swift started to show that they weren't afraid to call Ellen out when she crossed the line. It's clear that Ellen's style of interviews, once hailed as playful and fun, has evolved into something more controversial. And as more celebrities take a stand, it seems like the America's favorite talk show host may not be so untouchable after all. What do you think? Did Ellen go too far with her interviews? Could she have kept her fun and pranks without pushing her guests' limits? Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts.